All right, we're finally live with This and That podcast, episode 0, part 2. First, part 1 was the CIA operations and the deep state, and just a quick summary of what I covered in my first segment. We ran through some of the craziest CIA operations of all time: Operation Paperclip, Mockingbird, the Church Committee, the family Jewels and William Colby, the cases of Ed Snowden and the accompanying surveillance programs of Echelon, Stellarwind, and Pegasus, Julian Assange and WikiLeaks, the new CIA surveillance era of Palantir, Project MK-Ultra, Operation Northwoods, the history of American false flag operations highlighted by the Gulf of Tonkin, Operation Gladio, the USS Maine, Pearl Harbor, and 9/11, the history of American-backed coups highlighted by 1953 Iran, 54 Guatemala, 73 Chile, the Iran-Contra affair in Nicaragua, and the CIA's role in drug smuggling, 2011 Libya, Operation Condor, the list goes on. And then when coups came home in the JFK and RFK assassinations and the Kennedy curse, the real Watergate scandal, the elimination of true presidents and installation of deep state puppets from the craziest time period in American history from 1961 to 76, the FBI's war on the civil rights movements and involvement in the assassinations of MLK and Malcolm X, the remote viewing rabbit hole in Project Stargate and Sunstreak, the Montauk projects, the Philadelphia experiment, and the ever-mysterious Operation Highjump. And so, after part 1 of the CIA ops and the deep state, we have now entered into part 2 territory, the UFO phenomenon, the existence of non-human intelligence, and a revolutionary free energy technology. And, I've already published 2 presentations that were for college journalism classes a couple years ago titled Seeking the Origin of UFOs, Aliens, Free Energy, or Both, through Project Blue Book, Roswell and the Tic Tac case, the UAP congressional hearings, Bob Lazar and anti-gravity propulsion, the free energy suppression theory, Nikola Tesla, and the connection to the Great Pyramids. And the second one I published was called Down the Rabbit Hole, the Best Resources in Understanding the UFO Phenomenon. And so in this section of the episode, I'm going to summarize those presentations, some of my published essays, and I'm going to highlight some of the most significant UFO sightings of all time, the craziest government projects and whistleblower claims, the best UFO resources, and discuss some of the leading overarching theories. And I'm going to try and make this the most informative half hour on the UAP topic ever put forth in a podcast. So seeking the origin of UFOs, my first presentation was a deep dive into the research and evidence surrounding the UFO phenomenon, examining the possibility of both extraterrestrial technology and suppressed human energy technology as the underlying explanation for these mysteries in our skies. And so after years of falling down the UFO rabbit hole and consuming hundreds of hours of podcasts and documentaries, I've broken down this extensive search for truth into its most essential components. And so here are the most delicious crumbs on the UFO phenomenon, in which I'm going to show you that UFOs are 100% real and they defy our current understanding of physics and